had like managers try and hit on me, and that just makes me so uncomfortable. So I felt very comfortable that he was gay and that I knew that that would never be a problem.
It's big bags, bustin' up the Billy band, take a man, working back, party back, you know you ready. If it's up, then it's up, then it's up, then it's up.
Hi YouTube, it's Pamelarenee, and today, oh my gosh, I missed saying that. I have a story time. First, before we start, are y'all rocking with this hair? I'm like on this natural hair journey since my hair fell out. I don't know if I talked about that in my last video. Anyways, today I have a story time for you guys, and from the title you can see that it's gonna be slightly interesting. This is a story that I have like never really told, and I kind of just like push it to the back of my mind pretty much like every single story time that I tell on my channel, but we're just gonna go for it. Sorry if it's kind of confusing, but it's my first time telling it, so yeah, let's go. If you watched one of my first story time about the first time that I went to the club ever, this is the second time that I went to the club. I went to a completely different place because I didn't feel comfortable at that first place that I went to because it was like a hole in the wall, so I didn't really feel comfortable there. And the thing about this place is me and a new friend were gonna go to this place, not the friend that I went with the first time that I ever went, a new friend. But you needed to get a license to go to this place, and I never knew that you needed a license to dance. To wait about 2 weeks to get this ID because I had to schedule an appointment, and they didn't have appointments like, oh, you can just walk in and go. You had to schedule an appointment like days before, so it took about 2 weeks. And then once I got the license, I finally got to go to this place, and this place was so nice. It was so pretty, and I was just, that's one of the reasons why I went through the 2 weeks and all that stuff, because there are places where you can work and you don't need a license. Like a lot of places where I live, you do not need a license at all, but this place you need a license because I don't know really why, but you just did. So pretty, and I just like, it was like my ideal place. Oh, the rich people probably come here. That's what I was thinking in my head. Like, oh, the rich people are gonna come here. And you know, I wasn't wrong. It was a lot of people with money there. I went there my first day and I was kind of nervous, but the guy, the manager, he was gay, and so I felt like very comfortable there because one, he's not gonna hit on me, and just try and hit on me, and that just makes me so uncomfortable. So I felt very comfortable that he was gay and that I knew that that would never be a problem. I really wanted to work here. And when I went in, I was like, okay, well, my friend did not get her ID. I really feel like waiting because I already had my ID, and this ID costs $300. I was still in school and I was just working like a regular job. I don't really know how I just got $300, but I guess I assumed that I would. The guy, he told me, you'll make the money back very fast. Just get it. I'm like, okay, I trust you. Really took his word for a lot of things, and I got it. And I was like, I need to make this money back because I don't have $300 to just throw around. I just got a car and I had a car note. I couldn't just not work when I had the opportunity to work. So I was trying to make my money. I was trying to make some money. Wait around for her. And so I went on my first day, signed up, and when I walked back there, I went, like, I have to go through the club, so there were about 4 girls there, and they all kind of just looked at me like, I don't know, it wasn't like a, I don't know, they just kind of gave me a look like, oh, new girl. I finished signing up. I had to give the manager my ID, and I always had to keep an ID on me. And then I went to the back room, and I don't know, like, this is my first time going into a club alone by myself, And I honestly wasn't that nervous. I think I wasn't nervous because I knew I needed to get the money at this point. So like nothing really mattered besides I was just like, I have to do this. Like I've already done this once. I've already, you know, changed in front of all these people and seen their boobies and they've seen my boobies. So the shock factor just went away. Honestly, I was just like, okay, at this point it's kind of a normal to me, even though I only did it one time before. But I just like easily just got used to it because it didn't really, I don't know, it didn't really shock me that much. And I might talk about that, like why I think it didn't, in another video. But yeah, it didn't really shock me that much, so it just felt like a normal job. And there was this girl back there, and I wanted to, like, I didn't bring a lock because I didn't know what I was doing. So I didn't bring a lock, and I like didn't know what to do with my stuff, so I stayed back there a little bit. And then this girl, she was back there and she just like looked at me, just like, okay. And she left, and then she came back again. She was like, okay. And I think she could tell that I was new because of the way that I was kind of like looking around, like, what do I do with my stuff? Like, where do I put all my stuff? And so eventually I just like saw other girls coming in and putting their stuff on top of the lockers. And so that's what I did too. I was so worried that someone was gonna steal my I don't know what I had in my bag, but I was just really worried that someone was gonna steal something in it. But I left it in there and I went out. And then I saw that girl again. The girl who kept coming back in and looking at me and going back out. And she was on stage, and I was kind of staring at her because I was like, wow, she's so pretty. And she had like, she just had everything going for her, kind of. And then her outfits were like next level outfits, like, you know, like the Gucci outfits and stuff. You know how you see like all the fancy dancers wear that type of stuff. She had that. And so I could tell that she was at a level that I was not at yet, because I mean, this is my second day. I had like, you know, the beginner outfits, the little bikinis and stuff. I was watching her, and then I sat down by the bar because I didn't know where else to sit. And when I worked at that first club, he told me to sit by the bar, and so I just I took that advice, and I was like, okay, maybe I should sit by the bar because people come in and go to the bar, and then maybe I can talk to people. Then the girl gets off stage and she comes to talk to me, and then she's just like, wow, you're so pretty. I'm like, me? Wow, thanks. You're really pretty too. This girl is like amazing, and she's just like complimenting me, and she just kept like throwing on the compliments, like, wow, I don't know, she was just saying a bunch of compliments. And I just remember like me being like, wow, she thinks I look like I belong here. I'm pretty sure she was lying to me because I definitely look like a newbie. But yeah, she's like, wow, she thinks I belong here. And she's just, and then I realized that her questions, like, she started asking me questions that were like really personal. And she just asked me like if I lived alone. And she started asking me, she asked me if I lived alone. She asked me how long I've been working there. She asked me a bunch of personal questions. And honestly, I was feeling very comfortable with her because she seemed so nice. And I thought she was just trying to get to know me, but I see now, of course, she was trying to set me up pretty much. Yeah, she was. I told her, I know I lied a couple times because I don't know, I felt kind of uncomfortable. But yeah, and then she also asked me about my car. She asked me if I own like property and stuff like that. And then she switched it to, oh, I own my car. I own this, I own that, I make this amount of money, and blah blah blah, and blah 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 blah. And I was like, wow, that is kind of impressive. I'm like, man, you make that from working here and blah blah blah. And then she's like, yeah, just stick with me and she said, stick with me and you'll be like that soon. She had to go on stage because they called me on stage, and I'd never been on stage before because the old club I work at never had a stage. So I'm just scared out of my mind. I thought I wasn't nervous, but once he said blah blah blah, my dance name, come on stage, I was like, oh, my stomach dropped straight to my feet. Like, I was so nervous. And I went on stage and I just started dancing. And then I remember they specifically told me, they were like, once you start dancing, make sure the second song you have to take your top off. You have to. And it was like no option or whatever. Now I know if you feel uncomfortable doing that, you don't have to do anything. But they were just like, yeah, second song, third song, take off. I'm like, dang, I have to dance for 3 songs. That's kind of a lot. But I just went on with it. And so the stage is like really, it's a huge stage, and I'm just a small person, and so I'm just trying to maneuver. I was doing like my white girl moves. Woo, go. At that point, I was just on autopilot. Sometimes when you get really nervous, you just kind of go. And that's what I was doing. I was just going. And then when I get to the corner of like one of the stages, the girl who was next to me, I'll call her Angel. Angel, she comes up to me and she brings one of her customers, one of her regulars up. And then she's like, hey, you should tip her. She's the new girl and blah, blah, blah. And so he tips me like $50, I think. And he just like throws it, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is awesome. I'm so excited. Like, my first day is going great. I'm so excited. I didn't really know what to do. And then after he leaves, she's just like, you're doing so good. And then she walks away. She's so sweet. Like, I really like this person. Like, I feel like me and her could be friends. One thing you need to know is that girls in the club are not your friends. If anything, just they're not your friends. So after that, I go and I just like walk around and sit again, and then she just like helping me, like talking to me and blah blah, and we're talking to the other, we were all in a group talking to each other. And then suddenly one of the girls leaves, and so me and Angel are left alone again to talk. And then she asked me if I want to come over her house. And it was a little weird to me that she would say that, because I didn't really know her. But I mean, I don't know how we got to that, but she asked me to come over her house, and I was, yeah, I don't know, that was like a red flag for me, because I'm like, why does the girl want me to come over to her house? Seems a little suspicious. And so she asked for my phone, and really know what she was doing my phone, but she had my phone for a long time. She gave it back, and then she was like, and then she starts telling me, she kind of switches up, you know, you're really pretty, but if you want to go far, you're gonna need a manager. And yeah, she's just like, basically, you can't make it on your own. You can't make this type of money like me on your own, and you need someone to help you. And don't worry, I just connected you. I got you, don't worry. Like, just check your phone when you leave. And I was like, what did she just do? I was terrified. I mean, I was really terrified because at the time I didn't really get what she meant by manager. I thought she meant an actual manager, like a photo shoot manager, like she was trying to connect me to something. But when I checked my phone later on, I realized that she basically just gave my social medias to this pimp in the city, and she was basically just trying to connect us, and that was not gonna happen. Yeah, so do you want to come over to my house or not? And I was just like, I don't really think so. I think I want to go home. I have someone at home waiting for me. And she was just like, okay then. And then she didn't really talk to me anymore, but she also put her phone in my, she put her phone number in my phone. She put her phone number in my phone. And she texted me when she left, and she was like, yeah, make sure you check your messages. And so I realized when I got my phone back that she was on my Snapchat and my Instagram. She probably would have been on my Twitter if I had Twitter. And she basically like added this one person, and it was like this guy. I'll call him guy DJ. And DJ then messages me, and he's like, well, the next day he's like, oh, so do you want to meet up for dinner sometime soon? Do you want to meet up? And blah blah blah. I was like, what? Who is this? And I didn't realize for a second, but then I realized stuff, and I don't even, he's seeing my real name, not like, she added like from my real Snapchat. She didn't use like my fake stuff. And I was kind of like, I kind of got upset about that, because I don't even know this person, and I didn't even know her really. That was my first day meeting her. And she's just like, oh yeah, he's gonna help you. Like, no, he's not. And so she tells me to message him back and blah blah blah, and I'm just like, no. So I block him, and I just try and move on from that. But he was like really persistent. Before I blocked him, he just kept talking blah blah blah. And the reason I figured out who he was because we had a mutual friend, and I didn't ask her, but I just kind of knew once I saw like the pictures that he had of all the girls that he was managing. And I saw the things that he was posting. He posted stuff like, oh, this 304 don't know this and that and that and that. I'm just like, oh no, that's not how I roll. When I go home, I want to take all my money home. Everything. I'm not sharing. Think about it that much. And I tried to go back to work the next day, and my friend still didn't get her license. So I went alone again. And then when I go back, Angel is like, I don't know, she switched up the vibe completely, and she was just kind of like, She was very mad. And so I'm just working, and there's this guy, he's like an older guy, he's like, oh, I want to dance from you. And he leaves Angel, and he comes up to me, and he says, you, I want to dance from you. And I was like, me? Sure. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like, okay, sure. And as I go back into the private room thing, whatever it is, Angel storms off, and she's very mad. And yeah, she was very mad. And so when I went to go talk to him, well, when we got to the private thing, the guy told me that Angel said like some really mean things about me, and that he shouldn't talk to me. Yep. It's getting kind of long, but basically he said mean things. He said that she said mean things about me, and then I walk back out, and she's just like walking around doing her thing, and she just doesn't really talk to me again. And then I like hear again that she's like telling people not to like get dances from me, and just like talking crap about me. Then it was like just basically a series of bad events. I could probably do a whole another story time of how this girl was just like really evil after the first day I met her. But yeah, that just kind of happens sometimes. Like, girls are mean. But yeah, so that's how that went. I don't think that she actually knew that person, that guy. I don't think she knew DJ. I think she was kind of just trying to set me up. Like, she was just trying to, I don't know, I feel like she just was not a good person, and she just, like, she saw a young girl, a new fresh face at a club that she's been going to, and she was just like, oh no, don't like it, because we looked kind of similar. And so she saw me as competition. She was like, oh yeah, gotta get rid of her. Don't like her, gotta make her life miserable. There is a lesson to learn from this, except just be careful who you trust, and don't let girls have your phone, because they might install some spyware or something. Makes me extremely paranoid. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If y'all want more story time, then comment below, because I've got a bunch. Oh yeah, I also forgot to include this. Also, I wanted to mention like why I stopped dancing, and why I haven't been posting vlogs since literally last year. Not the fact that I wanted to, but it kind of was just like something that had to be done, because there was a lot of controversy within my family, and it was just too much for them, and they couldn't really handle it. And so I'm trying to be respectful while I still live in the same city as them. And just, I wanted to like figure things out. Like, I don't know, I had so many different voices just like trying to tell me what to do, and I kind of knew what I wanted to do, and just people were literally just weren't listening to me. And so I just had to like push my dreams aside for a little, and just try and sacrifice, you know, just to be respectful to my family. And that's pretty much the only reason why I stopped. Not because I wanted to, not because I got hurt, not because of anything. It was just out of respect for my family at the time. I don't know, I thought it was the right thing to do, but at this point I feel like I'm kind of just gonna do what I want to do. And yeah, if you don't like it, don't watch it. But that's all for today. I'm gonna try and post more videos, but I'm not promising, because my time management is not there as I want it to be. So it's very hard for me to keep up with YouTube, and not only that, but 2 YouTube channels. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment below something, tell me hi, I don't know, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.